That's true. Yeah, our grandmother was, she was born and raised in Armagh, in Cady, County Armagh. And she had a great knack for memorizing songs. She was what was known as a source singer. She lived the life of all the folk songs, and she also had a great knack for memorizing them. She'd hear a song once or twice, and she'd know all the words, and she'd know the melody to it and all. And so when people, in the 50s, people like Pete Seeger and Alan Lomax and Gene Ritchie went all through Ireland. Actually, they went all over the place, but they went through Ireland trying to preserve all these old folk songs. They figured, you know, all the old folks have these songs, and they're going to die out if we don't preserve them. So they went with their big tape machines, and they went around Ireland, and they said, well, we need to find the old folks that know the songs. And people said, you got to go up to Northern Ireland, up to Armagh, that's where Sarah Aiken is, and she knows all the old ones. And they went up there and collected a bunch of songs from her. We're going to give you one that she helped to collect. If you don't know the words to this, and I think probably a lot of you will know the words, you'll certainly know the melody. It's the same melody as Loch Lomond for the Scots in the House, with our apologies, because we're fairly certain that the Irish version is older. But we stole enough from them anyways. But our granny was born in the year 1900, and she lived all of her life in a small town called Cady in Armagh. She was bread and buttered in Armagh. My father called it the hub of the universe. He used to say, Armagh, where we serve neither king nor kaiser, thanks be to God. Granny lived on a street called Victoria Street. It was once called Lear Street, but the government saw fit to change the name to Victoria Street. I believe after a woman's lingerie designer. That's a secret between us. I just got that. Hi. Granny lived on Victoria Street, and at the house she lived at, there's a little plaque on the side of the door that says Sarah Aiken's house, although she doesn't live there anymore. And just behind her house, I remember there was a corrugated metal outhouse. And just behind that was Donnelly's Rock, where all the children played. And up behind that was a big, large, grassy field. And that's where the British Army landed their helicopters to take the dirty laundry in and out, because it was very dangerous to bring the dirty British laundry to be traveling any road in South Armagh. And there, behind that field, was the British Army barracks. There was a bit of a road, and then the army barracks with the bumps in front of it, and you had to slow down, and there were always two soldiers staring down at you. They have cameras now. I believe they got them from the Sky Mall. They're not real cameras, but they're very intimidating. And every day, 3 times a day, troops of British soldiers would leave the barracks, and they'd patrol through the town in their green garb and their black jackets and their machine guns. And one day, down at the end of Victoria Street, Granny was coming out of Bridges, which was the local grocery store, a little shop at the end of the street. And she had 2 armloads of groceries going home. And there was a young British soldier, and he stood back and he held the door for my granny. And she said, "Thank you, son. I hope the good Lord will save you a cool spot in hell."